folks, it's Papa D. I'm here today with Mr. Anthony Reid. He's an entrepreneur here in Greater Cleveland. He has many endeavors that he's interested in, and he wants to share those with you. So without any further ado, we're going to turn it over to Mr. Reid. Anthony, how are you today?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
I can't complain. I'm doing well. Just got from church, so we're all good there. Now, I hear that you have multiple hats that you're wearing, and can you explain to our audience exactly what those hats are and what they all do?
Oh, yes, no problem at all. First hat I wear is I work for AP Solutions. That's a family business. And what AP Solutions does is we facilitate the electronics industry. So with electronics, there's some electronics is just, you get it. If it works, cool. If it doesn't, you get rid of it. Some of it has warranties. And there's some electronics where if it doesn't work, somebody dies, is what we call critical applications. So for, critical applications and warranties, you most likely are going to have to get certified to show that you can do the work. So here we do global standards here. So electronics has a global standard. We do those global standards to make sure that people can either inspect or do the work to those standards.
Okay. And what about your other endeavors?
I'm also part of Ridgely Global Foundation. Ridgely Global Foundation, what we do is we work with the community to create programs that work with kids to put them in a more positive light, because kids love sports. And a lot of times kids do sports, and sports can be very lucrative. But a lot of these kids, when they try out for these sports, they also all want to go pro. Mm-hmm. But the reality is only a small percentage of them do. Right. And a lot of times people see that small percentage, but a lot of the kids get left out. What about the ones that don't make it? Right. I played in sports, our founder played sports. And the reality is, you don't want anybody to have to feel like they peaked at 18 or peaked at 20. Right. You want people to be in their 30s, understanding that their best times, what most that they can give is in the future, not in the past. Right. And so we give guidance to those kids. We help them, take advantage of the lessons that they learn, because many go through sports and it's an ends to a mean. And they somehow ignore the lessons that sports has to teach them. Sports teaches us life lessons. Exactly. If we take it and look at it. And we just want to help those kids see those life lessons, help those kids. We know the pro sports will take care of that small percentage. We're looking at the rest.
Now, that's a very, very outstanding thing, and very admirable that you're trying to help the kids and make sure that they have a stable foundation, even if they don't get into sports and so forth. So that's very, very cool. And is there anything else that you're doing right now?
Yes, I'm also doing One Voice Worldwide. Mm-hmm. And One Voice Worldwide is an entrepreneurial endeavor that allows people, to me, it's about empowerment. Mm-hmm. So you want to take as much control as you can in this life. Something I was exposed to very early was a prayer of serenity. And it said, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And with that always stuck with me. I didn't know why, but it always stuck with me. And that was kind of almost like an introduction to empowerment without me knowing about it. If you want to take control of your finances in this world, you have to go in business for yourself. Right. You work with business with other people. Your value is going to be what they state for you. Right. Only way to get your value, for you to determine your value, is to be in business for self, go into business. Exactly. But when you go into business, there are going to be some negative things. One is, easiest way to get health insurance is through working for somebody else. Mm-hmm. And, that's one of the things One Voice does. It gives you the empowerment. If you want to start your own business, they'll give you a route to let you start that business. They'll give you, show you where you can have consulting. They'll show you where you can get business funding for it. So it's giving you all the tools you need for empowerment. Let's say you don't want to start your own business. You want to have, it gives you a storefront. Mm-hmm. It gives you a lot of things. And it's like, if you're going to go in entrepreneurship, you need health insurance. Right. They can help you, steer you in the direction to have that as well. Oh. So a lot of things that entrepreneurs are like missing from not going through the traditional work channels, you can have, one-stop shop and get all of that taken care of, and then put yourself in business for yourself and take advantage of it as well.
Wow, that is phenomenal. Very outstanding, very outstanding. And it sounds like each one of them requires a considerable amount of focus and dedication to each of them. What was it that got you started in each of your endeavors?
What got me started into each of the endeavors, the first one was AP Solutions. That's a family business. My father had worked at NASA, and he was actually pioneered out at NASA. He actually is in the NASA Hall of Fame as well as the Ohio Science Hall of Fame. So he worked many years at NASA doing a lot of work. And then as he got older, he wanted to go into business for himself. He wanted something that he could leave his family, that he could leave his children. So, he co-created AP Solutions with that in mind, with some of the contracts actually being with NASA, where he had worked at previously. So as, I saw him started off, but, initially I didn't know what he was, what his goal was. I knew he had started it, but as we started to come of age, basically, he showed us the business, and, me and my other brothers also in the business as well. So Lonnie is
how many altogether is in there?
Is my father, my oldest brother Lonnie is also in the business, and myself.
Oh, okay. All right. So that right there is a very remarkable thing, to be able to have a family-owned business and see it grow and prosper, and know that it's within the family that this is actually happening, right? That's a tremendous thing. And what about your the Bridge?
Bridge Elite Global Foundation. That was an endeavor. A young man I grew up with, Mr. Ronnie Lemons. We have both been athletes. He actually played pro overseas. I didn't get that far, but we were both heavily into athletics. So some of the things that, from both of us, some of the things that we work to help the youth avoid are actually some of the things we went through. So for us, is both personal, because, as we try to go through basketball and football, as we try to reach those stages, there are a lot of people that are going to make money off of you. There are going to be situations that are going to be beyond your control. There are going to be situations where actually the adults are taking advantage of those kids, because the kids don't know what that system is. They don't know what's going on. All they know is what people are telling them. And it's like, when you come and you have those experiences, you either put it behind you and just leave, or you say, you know what, I don't want anybody else to have to go through, what I went through. There needs to be someone that's going to look out for the kids that are going through that process. And so that was kind of, that's kind of what we do. It's like we give them guidance, also some warnings and life lessons that, you're smart if you can learn from your own lessons. You're wise if you can learn from other people's experiences.
Exactly.
And we're trying to give wisdom. We're trying to give wisdom so they don't, the things that we saw, they don't have to see them. They can learn the lesson from somebody else experiencing it.
Now, is there a certain age group or age range that you all service?
We've done camps for the youth, up to through high school and college. So usually around that area.
Gotcha. And not to leave the last one out, what about One Voice?
One Voice, that's the last one I got into. Again, by the time I saw One Voice, I was already on my journey for empowerment. So it was through another entrepreneurial event where somebody basically taught me what empowerment was, because initially I thought I was already empowered. Honestly, I didn't know how unempowered I was until I actually met somebody who was truly empowered. And then they asked me a simple question. It's like, I was never one to be like, okay, I'm accept everything you say. I almost have a show me attitude. Exactly. And he sat me down. He gave me a nice quick question. He said, and it goes back to the prayer of serenity, what I kind of stated. He said, he looked at me simply, he says, okay, you want proof on it? He says, how many good days are you gonna have in the next 7 days? And I said, well, I don't know, I won't. And he was like, I'm gonna have 7. And I'm looking at like, how I asked him, how do you know that? And he told me, he says, think of the best day that you've had. And I said, okay. He says, were good things and bad things happen during that day, right? And I thought about, yeah. And he says, think of your worst day. I said, okay. He said, good things and bad things happen on that day too, didn't it? And I said, yeah. He said, how you determine good and bad days is in the mentality.
Exactly.
It's not in what happens. Every day of life is going to be good days and bad days. It's going to be how you think about that. He says, when you think the day is bad, he says, your mind is going to do gymnastics to make it bad, but there's going to be good and bad things that happen. When your mind says there's going to be good, there's going to be good things that happen. It's going to look at the good and it's going to focus on the good so that what you think is happening happens. He says, you can control that. It's all about mind state. You got to, and it starts with accountability. It starts with you creating how you look at things, and you can shape it that way. And that was my introduction to empowerment. Him sitting down with me and actually telling me that, and then that got me curious. Okay, and then all of a sudden that prayer of serenity that I heard before, all of a sudden it started to sound a little different. It started to make a little
Right.
It started to hit different. And as I started making that journey, I'm looking for things. I want to have an entrepreneurial opportunity that I can fully take advantage of and believe in. And sometimes there are a lot of opportunities out there that do different things, but this was the one that was basically empowering the people who were going to bet on themselves, the people who wanted to go into business for themselves. Many of the things they offer, the services they offer, are to empower those very people.
Gotcha.
And that's what clicked with me at that point in time. I feel like maybe if I had seen it too soon, you wouldn't have been ready. I wouldn't have been ready for that opportunity. Yeah. So it was a timing thing. So when I saw it, it just fit into the mind state I was already in.
Now, how long have you been involved with that?
Actually, that's only been a couple months. It's since September this year.
Okay.
So I'm just starting, but I'm all in.
Gung ho for it. That's very cool. And then AP Solutions, since that's been a family business, how long has that been around?
Ooh, that has been around for a while. I'm not sure. I want to say 2015.
Okay.
No, it's before that. It's been over a
decade. Okay,
yeah, it's over a decade.
That's beautiful. That's very beautiful. All right, folks. Well, it looks like we're getting ready to call it a day. Unfortunately, Anthony, it's been a pleasure talking to you. And if our audience wanted to be able to get in touch with you, how would they go about doing it?
Okay, to get in touch with me with AP Solutions, you could contact me at anthony.reid at ap-solutions.com. Okay, if you're interested in working with us for Bridge Elite Global Foundation, you can contact me at contactus@bridgesports.net.
Okay.
And if you're interested in One Voice and understanding more what they have to say, you can contact me at atrloki@gmail.com.
All right, folks. Well, you heard it. And we're going to definitely ask you guys to go out and pay Anthony a visit, either at the AP Solutions or at Bridge Elite or One Voice. Make sure you go out there and pay him some attention. And until next time, peace.